Hi everyone, in this video we will briefly discuss whether globalization is good, bad or evil. Before starting, please subscribe and support my channel. If you like it, please click the like button. Now let's start. Globalization is a very controversial term. In a very simplistic way, it means the erosion of the borders. The world trade drastically increased more than ever, and nations embrace and implement the free market policies and deregulation and so on. Due to the fact that it is not only about the economic aspect of the term, globalization has also social and political implications and effects in the world system. For this reason, in the literature, there are generally two main approaches to the globalization. Some scholars conceive globalization as a positive experience and interpret the world on the basis of their aspect. On the other hand, there are some scholars perceiving the globalization as a negative experience or negative thing. In other words, some understand globalization as a necessary term in which a natural state of affairs in the course of the growth, the wealth of nations. On the other hand, others assess this term in terms of the ideological concept and a mask with respect to the assault of capital on humanity on the other. The position taken here is that it's not totally redundant. At one point, this term is necessary so as to get some benefits from the global economy, but here in this, the problem is the emergence of the international financial institutions and other international figures, organizations as a global power, and their effort or impositions with regard to implementing same conditions and policies regardless of the dynamics of the nations. Therefore, like Stiglitz, it can be said that the main concern is not about the term, yet it is about how globalization has been managed. To begin with the beneficial part of the term, Stiglitz argues that of the countries of the world, those in East Asia have grown the fastest and done most to reduce poverty, and they have done so via globalization. For him, these countries got benefits of the globalization of knowledge to reduce the disparities in terms of technology and accessing the global market for export, and the success of these countries and settled pace of the events and change by themselves. Here in his study, there is a great deal of emphasis on the active role of the nations by talking about the East Asian countries such as Korea, Taiwan and the like. In other words, what are important figures are the globalization of the knowledge and the implementing of the economic policies by their own capacity. Therefore, to succeed and increase the wealth of the nation, the term globalization is a must in terms of the globalization of the knowledge with the help and direction of the state. What I mean is the active role of the national government in governance of the economy, because there is also a must to seek the social policies and to prevent the increasing of the wealth disparities. Consequently, Stiglitz makes a good point by saying that globalization protest movement itself would not have been possible without globalization. Here, another thing about the globalization of the knowledge is that today people know other countries and their cultures easily and sometimes promote these cultures' customs as a habitual behavior. For example, it is possible to eat sushi anywhere in the world, and also wherever people go, they drink their coffees in the Starbucks. The darkest side of this is that people start to imitate dominant cultural things in their daily life, and the increasing of the technology also promotes a unified culture in the world rather than promoting and putting forward the different customs because of creating simple-minded people. What I mean is that people are just ending up to eat, drink, and think in the same way. As for the negative part of the globalization, this is about impositions of the one ideology by international financial institutions. That is the liberation of the markets, the regulations, privatization. Therefore, developing economies and underdeveloped countries have pushed a particular ideology which is generally associated with the term globalization. Stiglitz demonstrates that IMF has pushed the bad economic policies without a broader vision of society or the role of economics within society, and it has pushed these policies in ways that have undermined emerging democracies. For this reason, this term is used as a mask by the developed ones so as to control and sustain their richness. Due to this, globalization is not a natural state of affairs. It can be said that it's just a tool in order to be maintained and increase their positions in the global markets. As a distinct figure here, there is a shift from the active role of the nations toward the active role of the international financial institutions in terms of the governance of economy. This means that a few countries are to get many benefits from this term as an ideology with the help of the international financial governance and their impositions. To recap, especially for 3 decades, it has been experienced the erosion of the borders. This term, globalization, resembles as a knife because what is the significant is the usage of or management of the globalization. At this point, it should not be forgotten that the nature of knife is still dangerous, not only in the economic ground, but also in social and cultural aspects. As a result, what makes it useful and necessary depends on how you are going to use this term and manage the situations. And this is the end of our video. Please, if you like it, click the like button and also subscribe and support my channel. See you.